KF officials, hamjambo, salam alaikum. Together with my vice chair, we're delighted to, or rather we are honored to host you at Kananda House today for this press briefing. I think when I ran for this office, we ran on a platform of accountability, integrity, and transparency. And we talked about good governance in the campaigns, and we have to not only practice it, but ensure that it is seen to be implemented. So in the interest of transparency and in the interest of accountability to the Kenyans, to all Kenyans who are the biggest stakeholders in football, it was prudent that we make an official statement on the situation of the status of the national coach and thereafter what the way forward would be. So I'll just read a short statement, and from there we will be able to take your questions, and I would request that you keep it within the agenda or the subject. Through the Office of the General Secretary, Football Kenya Federation, FKF, is in receipt of the communication from national team coach, Engin Firat. The first over notice of termination is contract entered in November 2021. The matter has since been forwarded to the new FKF executive for review and deliberation. As you're all aware, Kenya, together with our two neighbors, Uganda and Tanzania, will be hosting the African Nations Championship, CHAN, in February 2025. And as a federation, we need to move with speed to put a team in place and start early preparations. Notwithstanding, with the notice from, I think there's a typo in this from Firat, we need to, sorry, you'll excuse the typo in the statement. FKF wishes to move with speed to address the matter at hand, and with due course, we will provide direction on the same after internal consultations. Firat initially entered a 2-month contract with FKF in September of 2021. Later, sorry, I'll say that again. Firat initially entered a 2-month contract with FKF in September of 2021 that later earned 4 years and 2 months extension until January of 2026. Part of this, of his deliverables included qualifying for Kenya for the 34th edition of the 2023 Africa Cup of Nations, as well as the 35th edition of AFCON 2025, which could have earned him a further 2 years contract extension. I'd like to point out that the national coach terminated his contract through a notice that was issued this week, at the beginning of this week, and it was important for us to convene the media to inform all Kenyans that as we speak today, he opted to terminate his contract with the Federation, and that we will be looking at alternatives, or we'll be looking at a way forward once we have internal consultations with the technical team, with the NEC members, and with the secretariat here at the Federation. For us, this is an important step in informing the general public. As I mentioned earlier, we ran our campaign on a platform of transparency, integrity, and accountability. So we are here today to inform you that as we speak, the national coach has terminated his contract with us. With those remarks, I want to open the floor for a few questions so that we get it clear, so that there's no speculation out there. I can see a lot of queries on social media, but we are here today to clear the air on the same. So any questions, please just mention your media house and your name, and we will be happy to respond to your questions.
Will the new technical director be appointed first, or will the coach be appointed first?
We are only 3 days into this federation, so I'd like you to give us some time to sort out the technical bench using the proper channels, And then after that, we will deal with the issue of the national coach, and we will inform you in good time when that happens.
Is there a time frame as to when the new coach should be?
It will be done expeditiously within the shortest time possible. So I'd just like to request for a little bit of patience. You know, we've been thrown into the deep end. To say that this is baptism by fire is an understatement, and I'm sure you appreciate that. So we will do everything in our power as the National Executive Committee to have systems in place as quickly as possible. But it was today's agenda was really to inform Kenyans of what has happened and to give you the confidence that we have an able team that will manage the situation. Yes, no, Eric.
Yes, my name is Eric. So Firat has severally said that the federation receives a lot of money, like I think 11 or 12 months. He's been saying that in press conferences in the last couple of months. Have you checked on that? Is it true? And how do you plan to address that?
So the notice of, or rather the notice of termination got to me by just yesterday in the evening. I was not privy to it before. And we will definitely do an internal audit first on the claims of arrears. And once the report comes out, we will deal with the matter. But yes, the grounds of termination is pending arrears.
We already know the record Firat had before he took over the national team. Do you have any idea of the type of person that you're going to hire for this role?
I think it's too soon to go there. We need to deal with one thing at a time. And first is to inform you that we don't have a national coach as we speak. What happens immediately after is not just my decision on my own. It's a decision that will have to be made by the bigger team. And I think we will look at, of course, different competencies where required to make that decision. So again, just give us a little bit of time, and we'll come back to you.
Thank you, Mr. President. Abu Ahmed, K24 TV. Do you have a timeline, time frame? Kenyans need to know when are you going to have a new coach, and maybe when will the team start preparing for CHAN?
The teams will start preparing for CHAN as soon as we have had the discussion with the technical team and organized ourselves in-house. I'm targeting a very short period in terms of this decision-making process. Ideally, you know, for accountability of purposes, let me not give you a certain number of days, but it will be very quick. We need to consult a little bit more within the team. Again, like I mentioned, I only got this news last night. We have to, the most important thing first was to address Kenyans and explain that it is true that the coach of the national team decided to terminate, to exit the contract, and that we have to find a solution now moving forward. And that's why this gathering was important, or rather this press conference was important to avoid any speculation. I know we are coming from a very difficult background and history, and uncertainty can create a lot of anxiety, and that is what I want to avoid. You know very well the preparations of the stadiums is going on. We want to put up a good show at CHAN, at AFCON, and that involves preparing the team adequately. So I promised you guys during the entire campaign that I'll be as transparent as possible. We will be accountable to you, and this is what we're doing. We're not going to hide anything from the general public. We want a different system of governance at the Federation, and this is the first step. I was hoping that my first media event would have been a more pleasant one, and something that would have been a little bit more about our manifesto and about our progressive implementation of the progressive implementation of our programs. But unfortunately, we're in the deep end right now. We have to roll with the punches, and this is it. We asked for the job, and we're here to fix it. Let me give you the assurance that within the shortest time possible, we'll have a way forward.
Harambee Stars have been invited for the Maturity Cup. Will they honor the invite?
Once again, I have to sit down with the technical department, the technical team, together with our NEC members, and make these decisions jointly. Time is not on our side. There are quite a number of activities or programs that we must make very quick decisions on. There's also the preparation for Chan. In fact, the team needs to start preparing to go to camp. So there's a lot to be done within a very short period of time, within limited resources, and then we will be asking for patience, we'll be asking for support from partners, from government, from everybody. We cannot do this job on our own, and it is imperative that everybody joins hands to start building our football again, especially the national team. Some choices at the beginning might be very painful and difficult, but we would have to do everything required to sort of kickstart the reform process. Any other questions? Yes, Eric again.
Are you looking for a foreign coach, local coach? You know, a lot of Kenyans obviously prefer probably. They are those who prefer local, they are those who prefer foreign coach. You've had like a foreigner, you've had coach previously. Like, do you have a specific you're looking at?
I think the decision for me, if you are to ask me, it will be purely on merit, whether local or foreign. The person has to have the credentials, and I think it will be performance based as well. So whether the coach will be local or foreign, that will be a determination of the team that will be set up to undertake this process of acquisition. So let's see how it turns out. It might be local, it might be foreign. Yes. It's not just for me I can make recommendations, but we have a bigger team. We have the National Executive Committee, we have the technical department, we have members of the team with a little bit of history and background in this in the federation that we would want to consult, and very soon they will be looking at options, and I think we need to start that process immediately. So probably by today, tomorrow, I think that process will start, and then in due course we will inform you accordingly. Any other questions?